Yesterday, pretty much all of you saw this already, as part of my biggest Amazon.com package opening, I recently got probably the biggest transformer of all time, the Titan class Metroplex. And I mentioned throughout a few names. A few names out there in the Transformers mythos universe, and whatever, that could benefit from a Titan class release as part of the Transformers Generations toy line, Age of Extinction, whatever. And I thought to myself, and the names I threw out there are obvious choices. I mean, Unicron, Cybertron, Primus, if you will. Trypticon is there, Fortress Maximus, Scorponok. These are all names of Transformers that are huge. I mean, if you watch the video, and I'll provide links to the DeviantArt, to the pictures on DeviantArt in which you can see them. But when you take a look at the Unicron they brought out years ago, it's a decent sized Unicron. At the time, it was the second biggest Transformer. Not as big as Fortress Maximus. That still at the time, had the lead. It was still the biggest. Not anymore. But a lot of people pretty much thought that if you were going to do Unicron, you have to make him big, not this size. Well, anyway, long story short, so far he was the biggest one I had, until now. My Masterpiece Prime was the third biggest I had, until now. My Transformers 2007 Voyager class Prime was the biggest I've had, or was the fourth, Unicron was my first biggest, Masterpiece Prime was my second biggest, the Voyager Prime from the Transformers 2007 movie line, or movie toy line, was my third biggest, and now that's been, dropped to the fourth biggest. And when I look at how big this Titan class guy is, I'm thinking, how big can they go? I mean, if you're willing to make a guy willing to go out of your way and basically reissue a figure, but make it a little over 2 feet tall, what could you do? What could Titan class do with other these other Transformers that I've mentioned? I mean, think about it this way: you have Trypticon, which is the rival city to Metroplex. That's the next one you should probably try. Fortress Maximus, Scorponok, Unicron, Primus. These are all Transformers that could definitely benefit from a Titan class release. Now you might say, well, for Unicron and Primus, they would have to create another class. And you got to think to yourself, okay, well, you have Voyager class. I think you have Ultimate class or something like that. What could be above Titan? And only one I could think of, only other name I think you can use for a class would be Universe class. Or some kind of name. Like Universe class, Beyond class, whatever. You could do Monster class. You could even do, I hate to say, you can even do, you can do the Olympus class. There you go, Olympus class, which basically means, in case you don't know, in Greek mythology, Olympus is the home of the Greek gods. So Olympus class would be perfect for things like Unicron and Primus if they didn't put them in the Titan class line, which I think they're probably going to do if they decide to do any more. But like I said, you're looking at Fortress Maximus, Scorponok, Trypticon as probably the three real possible remaining Transformer figures or Transformers to become part of the Titan class toy line, Titan class Transformers toy line, with the possibility that you could have Unicron and Primus thrown in there as well. But again, to me, with something like Unicron and Primus, Titan class could work, but I think you would probably have to do something like an Olympus class for them, their own class, because come on, you don't think Hasbro will not want to outdo themselves here? They will. And by doing something like, say, a new class for characters like Primus, Cybertron, and Unicron, it's like you can't get any better than that. You can't get any bigger than that. So, but the thing is, if it succeeds, if figures like this are going to be around 2 feet or a little over 2 feet tall, how big would Olympus class be? A little over 3 feet tall? About 3 feet tall? 4 feet tall? 5 feet tall? I don't know. I think between probably 4 feet tall, perhaps, at the most. Basically, make it bigger by 2 feet, not by a foot. You know what I'm saying? So, possibly 5 feet if you really want to go with that, emphasizing the size of, that these guys are planets and, they need to, they're way bigger than anybody. Even Metroplex, Fortress Maximus, and Scorponok and Trypticon. But again, these are just names I toss out there for the possibility of the Titan class line to continue on with. But what do you think? Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll talk to you.